Ladies, morning, and gentlemen, I am late. All right, I said it. I told you the truth. I'm running just a little bit behind time. Just a little bit. Let me turn you this way. Hey, I am running just a little late this morning because I am underneath a whole lot of pressure. Yeah, I am. Yeah. I am under a lot of pressure because everyone knows that we are opening Unity Charlotte International very, very soon. My husband and I, the Apostle Fred Z. Gooden III. That's right. We are opening up Unity Charlotte International. It's on East Independence Boulevard. I'm going to say this. East Independence Boulevard in North Carolina. Where you guys coming in from? I need to know where you guys are logging on or logging in from. Can we do that? Can you let me know where you're coming from? I like to know over YouTube land, Facebook land, all over the world. You guys are beautiful. Happy birthday to everyone who is celebrating a birthday. My husband, I thank God for him, Apostle Fred D. Gooden III. I thank God for the assistant pastor, the pastor of Unity, who is actually walking beside us. I thank God for AP, Assistant Pastor Michelle. God bless you all. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Let me know where you're coming in from. Florida is on here. Fort Worth, Texas. God bless you. Louisiana, Mississippi, PA, Pennsylvania, Lafayette, Louisiana, Indiana, Texas, Houston is on here. Monroe. I will be in Monroe, Louisiana, January the 19th. I am so honored to be there. Bunnell, Florida. Trinidad Tobago is on here. God bless you all. I need to know. Rochester, New York is on here. Let me tell y'all something. What's up, Ohio? For some reason, the YouTube people are fast. Where y'all coming in from? Facebook. Good morning, Michigan. How are you? Orlando, Florida. Somebody's birthday is tomorrow. Michelle Crawford has a birthday tomorrow. Or everyone who has a birthday. Maryland is on here. God bless you. New Orleans just left you. High Point, North Carolina. Belton, Texas is on here. New Orleans is in the house. Oh my gosh. New Orleans with the good beignets. God bless you all. Come on. Jacksonville, Florida is on here. Brooklyn, New York. Thank God for Chi-Town is on here. Thank God for all of you. Lexington, North Carolina. Marietta, Georgia is on here. I want to say, Durham, what's going on? How you doing? Pooler, Georgia, or Pooler, Georgia is on here. God bless you all. Look at Barbados is on here. God bless you. Happy birthday, Johnson. Alicia said her birthday was Saturday. God bless you. Camden, New Jersey is on here. God bless you all. Trinidad just said they're here again. God bless you. Someone from the Air Force Base of Florida. Oh my gosh, Loretta, God bless you. How you doing? Rochester, New York is on here. Conyers, Georgia is on here. Tulsa, oh my gosh, I love that. Tulsa, Oklahoma. God bless you. How are you? Syracuse, Dallas is in the house. Everyone who is under the sound of my voice. Miami, cannot leave you out. God bless you all. Thank God for you all. Page Land, South Carolina is on here. I want to say to you all, we all see what happened or saw what happened or experienced. If you're living under a rock, then you did not see what happened at the Capitol with an O. Even I had to be corrected, and it's okay. Richmond, Virginia is on here. It is amazing that this happened, but it was an eye-opener, wasn't it? It was an eye-opener. Did I blend well? I blended okay. It was an eye-opener. It was an eye-opener to see what happened. But everybody went home. I think what bothered me, and I want you to click tag and share because we're going to the book of Esther. I think what bothered me when I saw what happened, or when we all witnessed what happened at the Capitol with an O. One of the commentators said something that nobody paid attention to. See, I pay attention to detail. I'm very detail-oriented. Someone said you love my makeup. Thank you. I'm very detail-oriented when it comes down to some things, but I'm really an organized mess, meaning that I'm not as organized as a lot of people like Eddie. But if you ask me for something, I can put my hand on it. But I'm very organized when it comes down to certain details to bring things together, especially color and style and stuff like that, because I love to put things together. But y'all didn't pay attention to what the commentator said. The commentator said they were escorted out of the building. Y'all didn't get that. They were, now if y'all got that, just give a thumbs up. Just give a thumbs up. If you got that, because I'm going somewhere. If you got that, that's right. February 20, I'll be in Brooklyn. Y'all better register for She Favor because them tickets are going fast. I think we down to a mere maybe 100, and it ain't even May. Give a thumbs up. So I'm saying that to bring something to your attention. I'm saying that because they were escorted out of the building when we would have been bludgeoned and arrested. They did not say they were arrested out of the building. The commentator of CNN said that they were escorted out of the building, not arrested out of the building, not tear gas, not spray. It said a whole lot about who we are as African American people. It said a whole lot. To sit in the seat of the, that was so disrespectful. Why is it that they are allowed to be disrespectful and we are allowed to be called animals? We are allowed to be called thugs and looters, to break the windows of the Capitol. Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? We would have been thrown under the bus, backed it up, throw it over again, and I guarantee you some of our sons would not come home. Some of our daughters would not come home. Why was this allowed to happen? I don't want to hear anything else. Now, guess what? We want answers. Because the next time there's any level of marching where we are concerned, we already know what it is. Because justice is very blind. Justice only sees us. Back to the scripture at hand. I said it, and I know I'm probably going to get in trouble for it, but it's okay. Someone said, that's right. It's okay. Yeah, that's right. We all understand what happened. We want answers. 3,179 people under the sound of my voice. We want answers. Because if you don't understand systematic or systemic, however you choose to say it, racism, you even see it in rioting. They were escorted out of the building when some of us didn't go home and still ain't home. We would have been in a grave. Are you crazy? We'd have been locked up. What? And labeled as thugs, rioters, you climb a wall? You climbed a wall. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm stating facts. You climbed the wall. How did you get on the wall? How did you get on the wall? You would have been shot. They don't even want to know your name. You'd have been shot. What? How did you? What? So now we see a blatant problem now. Well, fix it. All right, Esther. Let's go to the word of God, shall we? Get your coffee, teas, and me. Someone says, say it, Pastor. Justice only sees us. Blind just us sees just us. That's right. I don't want to hear it. It's something wrong. We understand this leadership has taught us all something. And that's all I'm going to say. Congratulations. It took a black man and a Jew to save us. Y'all better get it now. Because I know what's going to happen. Esther, let's go to the word of God. Let's go to the book of Esther. Y'all pray for me because past the time. We're going to Esther. Get your coffee, teas, and me. We were talking about the capital with an O. 3,417 people in the sound of my voice. Let's go to the word of God. I'm going to the book of Esther. I want to say something that a lot of people may or may not understand. I am so excited because God has chosen you to be part of this ministry. I am honored to serve you guys every morning. I love you guys. So let's do what we have to do to show this dying world that God still cares. I love you guys. Esther 4, can we do that? We're starting all the way down to the 7th verse. And I've got to read for you because most people in the sound of my voice don't understand the word that is getting ready to come here right now. Mordecai. And so Mordecai is now having a conversation with this woman named Esther. And so Mordecai is speaking. Mordecai told everything that had happened to him. So what Mordecai is doing, see you later, Cupcake Katie. My daughter's friend is leaving. Well, she's my niece. Mordecai is now speaking to Esther concerning what is happening to the Jewish people. Mordecai is having a conversation. He told him everything that has happened. He said, tell him everything. Tell him everything, including the exchange of money that Haman promised to pay into the royal treasury for the destruction of the people, the Jewish people. And so now he's having a conversation. He said, "Ooh, run, tell that and tell him what happened." He also gave him a copy of a text. Now, wait a minute, hold on. There was no cell phones. There was a tablet. Moses had it, but it ain't the kind that we got. And so now he's basically giving him a dialogue. He's telling him, and he's written things down on a scroll that he's writing things down in a scroll, and he's saying, I'm going to even give you this, a copy of the text. I got evidence, because the evidence states that they want to annihilate them, which he had published in Susa, and showed it to Esther, saying, Esther, look. See, he said, look, I got proof. See, I got proof. I got proof right now, right here. It's right here. I got proof right here. And so he's now saying, look, I got proof that they want to annihilate us. And so what happened was, he showed it to Esther and explained to her. He told the very instructions that he overheard while he was ear hustling. He told it to her. He said, now what I want you to do now, I want you to go before the king. What? See, it's funny because people want you to do something, and most of you under the sound of my voice, you've been given an assignment to do something. Well, what is it? That's a big shoe to follow. Listen to me, beautiful Silver Fox Mother Roberta. He says, I want you to do something for us, Esther. He said, what I want you to do is I want you to go before the king concerning this. You do. See, it wasn't Kilolo. It was almost, understand, it was like she was understanding the task at hand. Now, Kilolo would have been like, they ain't got nothing. That is their fight. That is not ours. This ain't got nothing to do with me. She didn't do that. She understood her assignment and that she was supposed to move forward with a very important task. And so very gracefully, she says, yes, I understand. Just like many mothers, you have a task at hand. You have a father who has a task at hand. I got to do what I got to do for the family. I got to do what I got to do I have to do what I have to do. Esther explained, okay, I'll do this. I'll go before the king. What I want you to do is I want you to plead before him. Listen, this is what happened. This servant went back and he reported to Esther and Mordecai. He said, this is what I saw. His name is Haddock. This is what I saw. Then what she did with the instructions, she said to Mordecai, all that you got, I'm going to go before the king. I'm going to go before him, all his officials, the people, the royal priesthood. I am going to go before the man or woman. I am going to approach the king. I'm even going to go as far as the inner court. I'm going to do it without even being asked. I'm going to do it without being summoned. They're not going to even have to wait. I'm not going to wait for the opportunity to go before the king. You could have been killed. You could be killed. God knows we could have been killed for going to the Capitol the way they did. Esther could have been killed for sitting in such a powerful seat. She could have been killed. She says, I'm not going to even wait. I know that this is the law, but for argument's sake, I'm going to break it. The king, he's going to do this. If your life is spared, what he's going to do, he's going to take a golden scepter, a golden goblet. He's going to get your famous, I'm just being funny. Don't throw me under the bus. Your Hennessy drinking cup, the special one you got with your name on it. Well, what he's going to do, he's going to take his favorite cup. And this is how you're going to know your life will be spared. He's going to take the golden scepter. He's going to push it forward. And when he does this, this means not only will he listen, he will hear and spare your life. Wait for this, Mordecai said. The golden scepter, when he puts it out, will spare their lives. But 30 days have passed since I was called to go before the king, I'm going to do it anyway. Esther's words to Mordecai was reported. He sent back the answer. Do not think that because you are in the king's house, you are alone. You're not by yourself. All of the Jews are going to escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the people, they're going to rise from another place. But it is your assignment. But you and your family, you guys might perish in this. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of the word. If you allow me to tell you for a minute, you have to have the courage to do it. I have to say this because right now I actually am going to encourage myself with 4,098 people watching me. I'm going to ask you to do Car Chronicles and you a favor because someone needs to hear this as we're fasting today, the first fast of 2021. We're fasting to 12 noon, lunchtime, your time, all around the world. I need you to have a watch party because we have to encourage someone that they have to have the strength and the courage to do it. To do what? Whatever it is that you're afraid to do in this season. Someone said, wow, Naomi, I got you. You have to have the courage to receive it. Bridget Hampton already received the word. You have to have the courage to do it. To do what? To do whatever it is you are afraid to do in 2020. Get the courage in 2021. See, Esther understood this because there had to be a level of understanding concerning her task. Well, allow me this. Someone said this is on time. I got you. My season now. You have to understand the currency at time is changing. Watch this. You have to understand that everybody does not have it like they used to do. You've got to have the courage to say, I'm not going to be here no more. I ain't going to be broke, busted, neither am I going to be disgusted. God said to wake up. Why are you crying, Vivian Ingalls? He said right now, you've got to get the understanding. You have got to have the courage to do it. To do what? Courage is something everybody don't have. You don't believe me? Ask yourself, why are you in a state of bondage? Because you ain't got the courage to get out. Why are you in the state where you don't know what to do? Because you don't understand who you belong to. Now, I walk a little heavy, but I promise you we're going to run. Let me honk the horn. That's for everybody that's on here having a watch party. Thank you. You don't understand that God said, I am going to pour out courage because people need courage to recover. Understand that Esther understood. She needs courage to uncover and to uncover the secrets that's going on. Watch this. That took a level of courage for her to have to reveal the secrets that was given to her. Watch this. Did you know it takes courage? Meek, I want you to cry, but cry with faith. Watch this. It takes courage to hold a secret. God, the secrets that you are covering right now, God said, I'm going to give you the courage to release it, and you shall speak and they shall know. You don't understand that some of you are being destroyed because you're holding back something. Understand Esther, she had the courage to hold a secret for the rightful time. Such a time as this, God said. Some of you under the sound of my voice, your body and your mind has been riddled with toxicity. Can I use that word? Yes. Because you've been holding back something that's in you alive. Someone under the sound of my voice, God said, in this season, God said, I'm going to give you the courage to speak because you've been holding it too long. It takes courage to do a whole lot of things, but stupidity to break in the White House in the Capitol with an O. You don't understand that everyone under the sound of my voice, you need courage to do a whole lot of things. Maybe that's why some of you ain't doing it. Hold on. I don't need you to guys get upset because I'm going to go a little bit deeper. God said, why is it that people don't understand the power of courage? Somebody need to get delivered, but you ain't got the courage to unravel the chain. You don't understand that God said it takes courage to recover. Someone said, walk through, MJ. I got you, Cynthia. You don't understand that in this season, God said, I got to give you the courage you need to move forward from where you are. Courage is something something that everybody don't got because you would have a better situation. God said today, you shall unravel the chain that got you bound. Understand, God said, whatever is in your fetters shall be broken. You don't understand. Someone said, my God, you don't understand that God said it takes a level of courage for you to handle life as you know it right now. Yvette Johnson, I got you. The Bible said that Esther, she understood two things about courage. She said, I shall go. The Bible said that if you read it in the course of your day while you are fasting, she said it. She said, I understand the task. She took her good bundles now, not the one that is scared of fire, the one that you could curl, right, Darikus and Eddie. What happened was she flew back her good bundles. In fact, back in the day, this black woman, she just fixed her afro a little bit, and she adjusted her crown, not knocked it off. What she did is she said, I will go before the king. She said something that some of you need to get in your bosom right now. Somebody said, come on, Lady Gooden, come on. Hear me. If I perish, I perish. I'm going before the king. Y'all don't understand because Tamala man sunk it, but let me help you understand. Some of you need to go on and tie your cape a little bit tighter and said, I'm going to muster up the courage to handle the thing that I'm afraid of. And God said, you've got to have courage to get you to do it. Everyone under the sound of my voice have a watch party because God said, courage shall fall and release you through it all. Michelle 37, do it now. Y'all don't understand that some of you need courage to get out of domestic violence. Some of you need courage to get up and ask somebody something. Some of you need courage just to say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that today. Some of you need courage to say, I don't want to do this no more, Jack. Some of you need courage. Understand that fear is not your friend. And God said, we're going to do this again. You're going to stand up boldly before the throne of grace and say, God, give me the courage for whatever I have to face. Someone said, yes, courage is a whole mood, baby. Courage is a whole mood. Understand, Esther, she had a whole mood. Courage is the mood that she was promised. She stood before the king with a secret she was supposed to hold. Now, why am I saying this? She held a secret that could have killed her. Some of you under the sound of my voice, you don't understand that some men need courage. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Some of you men need courage. God said, hold on, lady, you praying. God said, I'm going to give you courage today. Men are on here. In fact, that beep was for y'all. You don't understand that Esther, she said, now while you get me ready, I'm going to hold a secret. The Bible said that Esther went before eunuchs. Understand what a eunuch was. A eunuch understood, child, it takes a courageous person to become a eunuch. Eunuchs is almost somewhat like Tibetan monks, but just a little bit deeper. What eunuchs do, they understand the task at hand, and they allow themselves to be castrated to deal with the king's concubines and wives, which means that he was the only one that could hit it. I made it plain for you. Now let's go. The Bible said that she went before the eunuchs. It took a period of time for them to get her together. Okay, everybody, someone said, preach, servant girl, preach. Everyone that need courage to do something, go on and give a smiley face, because God said you're about to get courage to do something that you didn't want. The Bible said that the eunuchs, they took Esther for a period of time and they made her pretty. Watch this. Hello, all of my beautiful women and handsome men around the world. There's only one handsome man in the world to me, and that is my husband. I'm just saying. God said today, the day that you hear this, please don't harden your heart. God said that she looked the part. Watch this. All of my bonnet wearing babes. She looked the part before she presented herself. See, I have to help you understand that you've got to present yourself a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable, for this is your reasonable service. Look like you mean business when you dealing with folk. Okay, y'all don't get it. See, you get ready to go before the loan officer. Stand up with courage. You get ready to go back to the doctor's office. Stand up there boldly. Esther understood. I've got to look the part because I'm about to take the part. There is a position available for you, and you too afraid to apply. Go on and apply and go to the interview and look the part because you about to prepare for God's replacement. Someone said, preach. Go on, you need to sow 27 right now. Someone said, why are you doing that? Because we follow the guidelines of Abraham, and Abraham understood sacrificial seed. Everybody that's saying you crazy for this, listen to me. The Bible said that she stood before the eunuchs and she got real pretty. She took her afro and she said, you need to shift it. What you need to do? Shift it this way, cut it down a little lower. She got the frankincense and the myrrh. She went before the apothecaries, the woman with the people who, the homeopathic people that took the earth. Hold on, you weed smokers. This is not your segment of the message. This is not your segment of the message. She went before herbalists and she got the fine frankincense and myrrh and the cayennes, and she said, when he stood before her, he said, now you got to look the part and smell the part. So if you ain't take a bath in a minute, this is your segment of the message. You might want to take one. This is COVID. Put a little, just a cup of bleach in the water, and everybody gonna be happy around you. This is necessary because you get ready to go to a position that you're afraid to qualify for. And so I need you to get it in your spirit and understand that. Get the courage to apply for it. What's wrong with y'all? What y'all laughing at? The Bible said that what she did is she decided that I'm going to make myself look real good because I'm going before a person that can promote me. God, y'all better get it out. God said, y'all don't understand. You got to have the courage to apply for something that you ain't qualified for. Hey, with Shane, you got to have the courage to stand before folks knowing that they don't want you here. You've got to have the courage to understand that God said, I'm about to bless you supernaturally. Stand tall, back straight. You've got to understand, child, that God said you got to have the courage like Esther. I'm going to do something. Y'all better pay attention. You hold on, watch the replay. God, 4,292 people have a watch party. I'm going deeper. You don't even understand that God said, I'm about to grant you something. God, that you don't even understand is about to be yours. And God said that Esther, she got herself ready because she understood. Though they slay me, yet will I trust them. She said, I'm getting ready to go before the king. And God said, now I want you to pay attention. Mordecai, speak to her uncle. He said, now what you going to pay attention? Pay attention. I want you to pay attention to the golden scepter in his hand. When you see him stretch it out, that means that, oh, we're doing a good thing. Y'all don't understand that God said something is getting ready to be presented to you that you didn't even know that you was going to get. God said the favor of God going to fall because you had the courage to go through it all. The favor of God is going to fall because you had the courage to stand tall. And God said in this season, y'all going to go and you're going to get things. Watch this. But everybody ain't going to get because they're walking in fear and pushing away the favor because they don't understand the season. Joshua 1:9 says, I have not commanded you to be weak but strong. Watch this. He said, be courageous and strong. Do not be afraid and do not be dismayed. The Lord your God is with you, not today, not tomorrow, not next week. It says wherever you go. And so go to the mortgage company. Go to the doctor's office. Go to a church that's open and stand before God and say, God in heaven, I belong here. That house is mine. Whatever it is y'all got in my inbox, go to your son's house and say, listen here, you may not respect me, but I'm your mama. Tell your husband, you better take out that trash and take it out with the glory of God. You've got to understand that God said things are about to be presented to the people of God, and they've got to have the courage to receive it. Hear me? Why are y'all laughing? Someone said, preach, Bishop. Hear me. You've got to understand that God said you've got to have the courage to do some things. Yeah, sure. 4,293 people. God said courage shall fall. You have to have the courage in 2021. You got to have the kahunas, I'm going to say it nicely, to stand up before someone that was abusing you and say, not one more situation shall go unnoticed. You've got to have the courage to stand up to your your kids and say, if y'all don't get it together, I promise you, somebody under the sound of my voice, you have been taken advantage of because you don't have the courage to say no. And God said, you shall have a bona fide, mind-blowing, anointing no, and they got to go because God said you got to have even the courage to stand up to your offender, courage to stand up before your kids, and courage some of y'all need to have the you gonna punch the clock, turn on Zoom, and look at your boss. You got to have the courage to tell her, with all due respect, you messed up that presentation too many times. Let me help you with it so we both won't look crazy on the team. There's a level of us, someone said, yes, God, please tell it. There's a level of you that need the courage. Courage is something that God says is rightfully ours. 2 Timothy 1:7 said, God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of sound mind. 4,401 people under the sound of my voice. God said, I have not given you the spirit of fear. And fear has helped. The reason why God has me in this word courage is because 2020 put a lot of fear in all of us. I'm not going to even lie and say that I wasn't fearful for a period of time. 2020 took us to a level of fear. I have to help you, and I'm going to say it this way. With 4,404 people watching me have a watch party, let me teach y'all something. Let the crazy lady in the car teach you just a little something. Just tag 2 people, please. There is a big difference between fear and being paranoid. Understand this, Monica Carson, I'm honored. Listen to me. You have to understand that being fearful is something that God has given us in measure. Understand the first sign of wisdom is the fear of God. The reason why the power is gone in the church is because no one fears God anymore. Understand that you can have a reverential fear for someone that is in a superior position, like your supervisor. It's a superiority. It means that I reverence you in the position. But you've got to understand that God is saying you guys have allowed, and as a nation, this pandemic to get you to a place where you are paranoid. Some of you, hey, Mother Adele, I love you, Mommy. Some of you have become flat out paranoid. That if you hear somebody go, you have become paranoid to the point where someone goes, listen to me. I'm going to say this. It is January 7th. Yes, God. It's the 7th, that prophetic number. You've got to understand that during this time, most of us would get the flu or colds. But because of this pandemic, the minute somebody goes, you go, oh. Understand, I'm saying wear your mask. I'm saying do what they tell you to do, but don't be paranoid. You have to understand that Esther, she knew that she could have been killed. But what she did is she got an understanding. And what she did, Barbara Nisi, love to see you. What she did is she said, if I perish, I perish. Because what's before me is more important than what's behind me. And God is saying, what's before you now in 2021 is so important that you're going to need courageousness to go before certain levels of your life that 2020 said, don't you do that. Which means that you may have to go into the doctor's office, which means you may have to go before a judge, which means you're going to have to leave the house. My husband said, I'm so 37 right now. Which means, listen, that the churches that are now closed, y'all, we ain't closed, are now going to open. The Bible said this, how beautiful it is for us to dwell together in a spirit of unity. 4,517 people under the sound of my voice. And God says, now the world's got to move. There is a task before you. You get ready to get a grant. You get ready to go back to school. Everything that you didn't want to do, 2020 tilled the land. So in 2021, you could go out and do it. That's why God said, preach them courage. Because God said, you got to have the courage to do it now. Understand. He said the courage in the nation. Now, see? Remember, we speak in tongues because the Holy Spirit has given us a message for you. It's interpretation. Watch this. African American people, we now have to understand there is a level of courage we need as a people to take advantage of this opportunity that has been given to us. Black man, I need y'all to go to law school. Black man, I need you to sit on the seats at the Senate. Black man, I need you lawyers and doctors. Black man, I need you business owners. Black man, I am saying, get the courage you need, because what's behind you is behind you. But what's happening now moving forward is now your opportunity to have the courage to go into places and doors that you did not have the opportunity now. Because it is our season and it is our time finally. And even though some pastors may not say it, I am saying now the Cushite shall rise. Shekabasa. And you may ask, she's already said, no, I'm a realist and I love my people. But I want you to understand the courageousness that we set at the countertops, the counters at the diners. God says now is the time, and America knows it. And I said it and I said it, and I won't back down. For if I perish as a black pastor, I perish. But I am going, and I'm already before the King concerning the people of God. I am saying be business owners. I'm saying get off the corner and go to school. I am saying go get it and get it all. I'm saying right now, absolutely, portals are opening now. Now is the time. If you don't understand the words that are coming out of my prophetic mouth, you need to understand. Hear me, women, black women, you are powerful, you are great, and you are sitting in seats that we have never been set in before. And God says the portals are opening now, and you need courage to go do it. Go do it. Go do it now. Right now. You don't understand. I am saying right now. It's time for us as a people to level up. Somebody said, I'm sowing for my courage now. It ain't no time for you to be fearful. Go do it now, because God said, Esther understood that I know I can be killed, but I am going to put aside my fear. I'm going to save my family. I'm going to put aside my fear. I'm going to open up my business. I'm going to put aside my fear. I'm going to do everything they said I could not do. God said now is the time. And God said to wake up and encourage the people of God. You need the courage to do so. Philippians 4:13 said that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And God said, now I shall pour out my strength. Get up and go get it. One girl said, I'm going to own my own home. Get up, sister girl, say him, and go get it. Whatever it is, put it on the time now. Put it now, because God said, I'm going to give you the courage to do it. Most of you have been bound by fear. Most of you have been bound by fear. And God says, get up. Get up. 5,228 people. God said, God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And most of your minds could not fathom what you can be. But God says, yes, you can. He said, right now, fear has got to leave. Operate in your faith. That means you got to do something. And God said, favor shall fall on it. He said, you don't understand. If you want multiple streams of income, if you want multiple streams of income, if you want better health, he said, you shall have it. Go on and put it up. Child, that's right. You will complete school this year. Dawson 808. You sure will. Understand, go apply for the grant. You don't understand what 2020 did. It tilled the land. And God said, now, hear me. I shall be the first. Because he said, the last is now first. And you don't understand. God said, get the courage and do it. Hear me. I am speaking of a prophet of the Most High. You best to understand the words that I speak in a vein in which I speak. God said, now is the time. Listen to me. Go to Ephesians 6 right now. Listen to what God says. Go down to 10. Esther, she said, I'm going before the king. And I know God gonna give me favor with him. There was something different about Esther that got the king's attention. And I am saying there is going to be something different about you when that phone rings and you do that Zoom interview. It's going to be something different about you. See, that's why now we got to look the part. We got to look the part. My parents taught us, whether I liked my dad at the time or not, I give this to him. He said, you a lady, dressed like what? You, my brother, you a young man, dressed like what? I'm not saying you got to have Gucci and all that stuff. I'm not saying that. Because I'm going to tell you something. I can dress with a consignment shop mind and make it look like $1 million. It's a talent I have. But when you go in that interview, you better look the part. You going for business, look like you want business. Dress like you want you want business? Come on, let's do it. Hear me. You want to know what Esther put on? She put on Ephesians 6 and 8. Esther put on Ephesians 6 and 10, excuse me. She said, this is what she did. She got the courage, and she was strong in the Lord and the power of his might. And she put on the full armor of God so that she could withstand the wiles of the enemy. That's what she did. She said, so she realized that she ain't struggling against nothing around her, that she's not struggling with flesh and blood, but she's struggling against rulers and spiritual wickedness and authority in high places. She's struggling with the dark world that is against her, spiritual forces and evil in heavenly realms. See, that's what we're talking about, the portals and the realms. Same thing. Listen, this is what Esther did. So what she did is she put on the full armor of God so that she could withstand the days of evil that are coming. She said, I'm going to be able to stand and stand my ground. Now, hold on, Florida. Because Zimmerman took that too far. Watch this. She stood firm in the foundation that she knew she was free. She stood, watch this. She stood firm. And she said, listen, I know I'm taking a chance being here, but I'm going to stand firm. Even if you don't go get approved from one bank, go to another. Even if one doctor tell you, I'm going to stand firm in my faith. She stood her ground. She put on her red bottoms, whether they was Louboutins or she painted them herself. And she stood there, whether it was J's or Tim's. I'm standing firm that I know God gonna make a way out of no way. Watch this. She stood her ground. Watch this. And after that and everything was done, she stood. Stand. If you don't know what else to do, stand. She stood there, bold, courageous, and realized I could be killed. She stood there. Watch this. They went inside that Capitol and sat in that seat because they knew they weren't going to be killed. If it was us, please understand, she stood firm. I know I'm not supposed to be here, but I have a right to be here. We have a right to be in Congress. We have a right. We have a right to be president. Right? We have a right. And she stood there with her right, knowing that she could be killed. Thank you, our ancestors. She stood firm. And Esther understood with a beautiful black skin. She stood and she said, I'm going to stand firm with the buckle of truth. She stood there, buckled around her waist with a breastplate of righteousness. Her feet were soldered and fitted for readiness. That means she said, I'm ready for war. Some of you, your family, are falling apart because you ain't ready for war. And I'm ready for war for my household. Let's do it. I'm tired, but let's come on, Fred. Let's get ready to rumble. Esther understood. She said, I'm ready for war. You're going to take your hands off my child. You're going to take your hands off of my finances. I'm ready for war. She said, if I perish, I perish. Molly said, I'm standing firm being a boss lady. Stand firm. She stood firm. Some of you need to stand firm and say, I will not take this mistreatment. Not one more year. She stood firm. She stood ready. That comes from a gospel of peace. She stood knowing that Joshua 1 and 9 was in her bosom, that God is with me even if I stand here. She stood still. In addition to all of this, she took up the shield of faith, which you can extinguish all the fiery darts of the evil one. She was her own superwoman. She stood there. You know how that lady, we was doing it first before they were ever did. We was warriors first a long time ago. Thanks for stealing our stuff. But she was standing there with her bracelets. And I saw that Wonder Woman movie, that old raggedy movie. But, you know, it could have been done better. But if we were there. But God said, your shield is the word of God. So whenever the enemy comes, you could. She stood there and she understood. And I'm going to take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. And she stood there with the spirit of Moses. And she said, let my people go. So I pray right now for the spirit of Esther to fall on every click and every tag and every share. Because the spirit of Esther was relentless to make it. The spirit of Esther was relentless to move forward. And the spirit of Esther was strong, courageous, fearless, and bold. The spirit of Esther shall fall today on every assignment. Esther stood there, understanding that if I perish, I perish. But I'm going to get my house. If I perish, I perish. I'm going before the king. If I perish, I perish. I'm going to tell what you did to me. If I perish, I perish. I'm going to believe God for my healing. If I perish, I perish. I ain't no punk. If I perish, I perish. If this bank tell me no, I'm going to go to another one. But I'm going before the board, the king, the doctor, my kids, my offender, the person that assaulted me, the person that molested me, whatever it is. Some of you just need to stand up for your own addiction and say, I'm perishing now. But I'm going to let this marijuana, alcohol, meth, crack, opioids, whatever it is you're struggling with. And I know it's going to hurt. But if I perish, I perish. But you going to let me go. 37 or 27, as long as it's 7. Because that harvest of courage is needed. Because you behind the 8 ball because you scared. And God said it ain't time for you to be scared. I'm putting favor before you. But you too afraid. Esther had to wait for the king's command. And some of you are waiting for the king's command, whatever your approval need to be. And Esther waited for that golden scepter to be put out. And she had to stand still because the Bible said in Ephesians 6, stand firm. She had to stand there waiting for her fate. That's a lot of you. You're standing waiting for the phone to ring. You're standing waiting for your text message. You're even waiting for doctor's results. And just like Esther, she's standing there just waiting. That my fate is in the hands of this king. Whether I get approved or not. Whether I die or not. And Esther didn't move. And she stood still. And eventually what Esther did is she had to wait because it was disrespectful to even look eye to eye. That sounds familiar. But when she might have heard the mutter of the crowd go, ooh, she had to listen for her cue to lift up her head. And I believe inside something happened. That she lifted up her heads. She lifted up her gate. O ye doors, you everlasting doors. And the King of glory came in. And she lifted up her head with a sigh of relief. Oh, I got the job. Oh, I'm cancer free. Oh, my children are coming home. Oh, and because of your courageousness, you're about to get that sigh of relief. And God said, now stretch out your hand. And what happened was, she stretched out her hand. And it had to be courage and boldness to touch the top of the golden scepter in safety and approval. And we're okay.